Okay, Mr. Wolfsbane in the round 3 of the legendary draft. I'm gonna slam the Stinging Invocation because it's my favorite lottery ticket. Come on, 3 Bs. 2 Bs, that's decent. And then I'll play the Volcanic Giant. I really like Volcanic Giant. I think it's a little stronger than Rolling War Claw just because it's so big at rank 2. It's a 10-10. So this Volcanic Giant did 4 damage to me. I can maybe move this Killer Bee out of the way. I don't really want to let his Volcanic Giant live, though, which is problematic. Did I draw that Bramblewood Guardian in rank 1? That would have been sick if I would have drawn the Bramblewood Guardian for the Torgmai Guardian. As is... Ooh, his legendary was Spirit Stone Sentry. That's a really good one. I'm just going to move it out of the way and attack his life points directly. Maybe play... I don't want to take like 15 more damage from this Volcanic Giant waiting for it to die to poison, so I can either Toxic Boon it to kill it next turn and take 5, which is not that great, I think. Or I could play Wind Primordial or Wind Primordial Swammoth Ancient to kill it. He's Necrium Tempys. Doesn't have any Soulbind cards. Probably wants to be playing aggressively. So maybe I play a Swammoth Ancient and then trade with the Volcanic Giant? No, I think I'd rather have 2 creatures. So take the damage and then have a Wind Primordial. This also puts him with 1 poison, so he'll be taking 1 per turn for the rest of the game. Which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I have to somehow deal with this Spirit Stone Sentry. If he blocks the Killer Bee, that creature gets poisoned. It doesn't look like I'll be able to... That's kind of a weird block. It's not one I would have expected. I'll definitely take it, though. I assume he blocks the Killer Bee this turn, because it's only a 1-1. If he doesn't, he takes another poison. That's even... I can Ursine Strength and keep attacking him with this Killer Bee. Is it worth it? Probably not. Am I going to do it? Almost certainly. And then I could play a Torrent Soldier to block his Spirit Stone Sentry. Or Thranic Ambusher. Thranic Ambusher is probably better. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go deep with the kill. I think this is wrong, for the record. I think it's probably better to play a Torrent Soldier and a Thranic Ambusher, but I never get to play with Killer Bee. So I'm going to Ursine Strength this Bee just to deal more poison to him. And then block his creature with Torrent Soldier. Just to show him how utterly dominant my Killer Bee can be. And now I have to find a way to deal with this large Spirit Stone Sentry. I can do it with the Deep Branch Prowler. That's as good a use as any as Deep Branch Prowler, I guess. He can make his Steam Sentinel come to life with the Instigator, the 7-2. But I haven't seen one, and it's blocking his side lane, so there's no reason for me to kill it. Because level 2 Spirit Stone Sentry is actually really difficult to deal with. Now he has to block my Bee with something with 4 power instead of just 1 power. Man, if that's not the dream, I don't know what is. I just couldn't resist the value. Okay, show me what you got, Mr. Wolfbane. His first turn was play Volcano Giant, and then wait 4 minutes while it was still his turn, because I guess he just forgot to end turn. So I kind of just sat and waited before I started the video. Hopefully he's not having some internet problems, so there's not too many long waits. But ooh, the plays. That's pretty strong, actually. And he gets a Dark Art Wanderer. Yeah, that was a really strong turn. I still need to block his Spirit Stone Sentry, though, because it's too big to ignore. Hopefully it comes back in this space right here, but it might not. Can't really control it either way. I can Frost Shatter Strike his Dark Art Wanderer to give me my chances better. Probably better to just play Blizzard Shaman, like post-combat. At least it'll only be a 4-4. when it comes back, or 5/5 I mean. And then I can just play Blizzard Shaman in front of it. His Aranti Elementals will die, then his Spirit Stone Sentry will die, it'll probably come back in a side lane, and I'm stuck in some sort of eternal mode of trying to kill Spirit Stone Sentry while he's playing creatures. That's not good for me. Can't really do anything else though, since I can't be aggressive because Spirit Stone Sentry's too big. Like if I ignore the Spirit Stone Sentry, ugh. At least I get to kill a lot of creatures with this Malice Hermit. Like a lot of creatures. So we play Malice Hermit for sure. And then I can Fervent Assault my Blizzard Shaman to kill the Volcanic Giant. Because it does 9 damage to it. And then plus 2 more with the poison. Malice Hermit goes up to a 8/8. Most of his creatures are dead. The Spirit Stone Sentry hits me for 5, and then I figure out something to play. I guess I could block it with Ortec Warhammer. Ortec Warhammer doesn't really do anything if he's not in Tempys. It's just a 3-power creature with mobility 1, 2, and 3. It's like a decent creature. It's not exciting. So I can kill his creatures that aren't in a side lane in next turn. The Spirit Stone Sentry will die on his turn, so it'll only be a 4/4. Assuming that's the only thing that dies from poison. And then maybe has a good chance of coming back in a non-side lane. Not definitely, but maybe. Fortunately, my level 2 card in this hand is an Ursine Strength. So it looks like I'm going to play Thranic Embusher, which is kind of awkward because I need to block. That's pretty good sequence of cards. Because now my Malice Hermit dies. Unless they Ursine Strength it, which I don't really want to do. Because that doesn't put me on the board any, really. I think it's probably better to play the Thranic Embusher in the middle lane and block his Brood Horror with Nagrath Warrior. Because Nagrath Warrior is at 10/11 at rank 2, which is better than Tormar Guardian's 12/12. If I wanted to just play it as a 4/4. Which is not really what I want to do. And I'll take the damage from the Ortec Warhammer. I don't think it matters that much. Making sure the Brood Horror dies is a little more important than blocking the Ortec Warhammer. Unfortunately, I drew 4 level 2 cards. Actually, you know, it would have been better to block the Warhammer, because then he would have had 1 less creature to be in a side lane, or a non-side lane. Oh, it was a 5/5 because Brood Horror gave it +1/+1. Okay, that makes sense. I was kind of wondering how it wasn't just a 4/4. Hopefully I draw Stinging Invocation next turn, because that's one of the ways I'm going to break through him with this poison. If I get a couple 3/3 poisoners, maybe I can hit with one of them and just stall out until he eventually loses. Of course, he might be better at that than me, but I haven't seen any Graveborn Gluttons yet, just the Spirit Stone Sentries and the Aranti Elementalists. So if I can control his Spirit Stone Sentry enough and hit him with enough poison, I can eventually just stall him out. Especially with the Malice Hermit I have in my deck, which is really good for board control. Kills basically everything in a couple turns. Maybe Dissolve would be better in this deck than I gave it credit for. I knew it would be okay, but I wasn't really prepared to draft Dissolve because it's such a hugely situational card. Definitely a little better than I gave it credit for. Possibly a lot better. I think my contingent plan right now is to play Volcanic Giant in the Ortec Warhammer lane, because Ortec Warhammer will die, and then I can play Wind Primordial in front of the Spirit Stone Sentry to block it and then move it out of the way later. Alternatively, I could play Volcanic Giant in the other side lane, depending on what he plays. So my Wind Primordial has the opportunity to move out of the Spirit Stone Sentry lane after it blocks it. Oh, and there's a Graveborn Glutton. That's not good for me. At least I still have Nagrath Warrior, right? Which is weird. He chose not to play a creature before Brood Horror died. So now his Volcanic Giant's only a 5/5. So I'm playing the Volcanic Giant here, and then I can ignore his Spirit Stone Sentry for a turn, but I don't think it's good for me. Because the Wind Primordial is not going to attack. And this way it forces him to play creatures in the middle lanes. Instead of like trying to kill my 10/10 Volcanic Giant. I can Dendrify his Spirit Stone Sentry if he plays the level 2 version. This is the only turn he has left to play it, and I would definitely play it if I had it, if I were him. Because the level 2 version is so big, it's a 6/6 and it gets +2/+2 for everything that's died. So usually you block it and it comes back as like a 10/10 or a 12/12. Then it gets really hard to deal with, especially if there are multiple tiers. He has an Instigator, I saw one. So Firelight Hunter to kill my Nagrath Warrior, I assume. That doesn't... Oh, that does enough damage to kill my guy, yeah. Well, I guess I attack with Volcanic Giant. And play the Blizzard Shaman in front of the Spirit Stone Sentry and hope and pray. Well, what's my other play? I think I play the... wow, that was a little bit of lag there. Play the Warclaw in the side lane, put the Raptor in front of the Firelight Hunter, or in front of the Steam Sentinel. That way the Volcanic Giant moves in front of the Firelight Hunter. So let's go with that. Well, the Volcanic Giant isn't guaranteed to move, but at least I know the Volcanic Giant won't move in front of the Steam Sentinel, which is what I wanted. Unfortunately, I didn't draw the level 2 Stinging Invocation last turn, but, you know, that's just fine. We're still doing some pretty decent poison damage to him with the 2 poison we accumulated in player rank 1. That's done, like, a ton of damage to him so far. Ooh, that was a lucky one for me. So I'm gonna attack here. I don't have a lot of options. I think I play the Roaming Warclaw in front of the Volcanic Giant, make a Raptor in front of the Firelight Hunter, and hope for 3 bees. Or I could play the bees first, but then if they go into some random lanes that I don't want them to be in, I don't think that's as good. So I'd rather kill the Volcanic Giant or the Spirit Stone Sentry. He has an Aranti Elementalist, so I think I just kill the Spirit Stone Sentry before he can move it. Even though the Volcanic Giant does a lot of damage. 3 bees, there we go. Now we're in business. That Volcanic Giant did 8 damage to me. It's a ton of damage. That's the max amount of damage for a level 2 giant, in fact. So this giant dies on my turn, assuming he doesn't kill my bee with like a Frostshire Strike. The Spirit Stone Sentry dies unless he moves it by replacing a Steam Sentinel with an Elementalist. And then hopefully I get to move some of these bees into lanes to poison him. And I have the Torrent Soldiers the Torrent Soldier for some removal spells on creatures that escape. So it's all on him now. I think this poison's honestly saved me. It's done probably, like, how many turns have there been this game? 20? It's done a lot of damage to him. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to use my bees to hit his creatures, which kind of sucks, but you know, that's how it is sometimes. Then I can play Torrent Soldier in front of this creature. What's Spore Torrent level 2? I don't even remember. It's 2 poison, right? 3 poison? So it doesn't kill Volcanic Giant, but I don't really want to take 10. So I guess I'll just Spore Torrent his... This dies... His turn it goes to 5, my turn it goes to 2, so that'll be 12 damage. Yeah, it's worth it to kill it with an extra point of turn. That didn't make any sense, but it's fine. 7 damage with the giant. Darkheart Wanderer can give itself a regen if you place spells. I don't think he has a spell that does very I haven't seen him play Swallow than Frostshire Strike, I don't believe. So I might just go really deep on pumping this Wind Primordial. Doing a lot of damage that way. Because he can't block it, like unless he plays some creatures that are multiple. Oh, there's the Seam Sentinel, that's unfortunate. I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to block that last turn. Now I'm at 10. And he played. Okay, so I have to kill this Graveborn Glutton and block this Fangmesh Indicator and this Steam Sentinel, which doesn't give me a lot of, space. I think I attack with the Wind Primordial here, and then move it into the Glutton lane. He can kill me if he has a removal spell, but I don't think I can really do anything about that. If I pump my guy, it's what, +9/+9? That's only 11 power, or 11 toughness, I mean. So my plays aren't the strongest here. I'm just left with a 3/3. I could have actually blocked with the Aranti. That probably would have went a little better. It doesn't matter if I pump this guy because it goes away at end of turn. And it looks like I'm dead. Well, I probably could have played that one a lot differently. For instance, not like pumping the B at level 1, but I actually think that was a pretty sweet play because that second point of poison did so much extra damage to him. I'm pretty sure the majority of my damage this game was in poison damage. And yeah, there's the death blow. So he got me.